If you're new to us, like, subscribe, and share. We will get talkative here in a little bit. We can get a bunch of people in here. Thank you for being here. Just hang out with us for a little bit. Trying to get a couple things done here in the office before we go to the other room. We got some work to do. Kind of tired, but we're going to try to get some work done tonight. It's been kind of a cool, rainy day here in my part of the world. I got to feed my dog Lily here in a minute too. Uh-oh, looks like Facebook's having some kind of technical error. We'll give them a chance to get their crap together. We'll get this live stream shared out with some folks. As we all know, a lot of times notifications don't work so well on YouTube. BJ's in the house. Good to see you, buddy. How are you? Thank you for coming in. Yeah, can't really trust the notifications on YouTube anymore. How are you? What's going on in your world? Well, our house is a mess still yet again, so don't mind the mess, but I got some stuff. Oh, yes, Lily, I know. My dog's Lily. My dog Lily. My dog Lily is reminding me that it's after 6. It's almost dark. It's time for somebody to have turkey. So let me get the camera set up here. So we're going to be in the kitchen tonight. You doing good? All right, man. That's great. That's good to hear. We've had a rough week ourselves, but nothing to, nothing to, I don't know. Well, definitely a lot to stress over, but nothing we can't handle. One thing I've learned, and you probably learned over the years, being smart adults is, there we go. Everything can be fixed with money. Everything can be fixed with money. We had a flood here at the house. Waking up for the girlfriend so you can chit-chat. I remember those times. I do. I know exactly what you're going through. Let me get my iPad plugged in. I still remember vividly Because, we here in America, I was working, teaching. And about the time, about now, a little bit later, Lorelai, I'd get a call as soon as I get home, unless I had a night class to teach. And my poor wife would want to talk to me all night long, and I'm like, I got to get some sleep. It's daytime for them, but it was nighttime for me. I needed to get some sleep. So, man, I remember those days very, very well. Then it's kind of like, oh, you don't want to talk to me? Thank you all for the thumbs up, by the way. Oh, you don't love me. You don't love me. I'm like, no, I'm exhausted. We talk all the time. And I just got off work. I've been busy. Or if you're too busy to answer the phone, it's like a crisis in the world, So, man, I remember. So a lot of, and I tell people this. Let me get my iPad set up and I'll pay attention. I use my iPad so I can read the chat a little bit better. Oh, got a feed Lily. Tim's in the house. Good evening, Tim. BJ knows exactly what I'm talking about. Hiya, Alphon. Tim, good to see you, Alphon. Shout out to Nuva. Low A, well, I don't know what that is. It's me freaking out, not her. Really? Wow, that's interesting. I guess I can understand that too because. Let me turn that down. I do remember a time or two when the internet went out in the Philippines. A hurricane or typhoon came through. A typhoon came through and knocked out all services. And so we didn't get to know anything for, 4 or 5 days, whether she was alive or dead or, you know what I mean, or what had happened. I got you, so it's on you. My wife is the jealous one in our relationship. So, love you. Thank you too, Alphon. But I understand what you mean. But I'm kind of old, and I've been there, done that, so I don't get ruffled too easily. And I have a lot of patience, believe it or not. But my poor wife would be so jealous. I can tell you stories, and I mean stories, of the jealousy. I'm going to try to do some steam cleaning. I bought a steam cleaner. Man, I don't like how that's leaning on this side. Let's see if I can fix my tripod. There we go. Maybe that's working. Love you too. We love everybody, man. It's your birthday today. Happy birthday to you. I think it's always your birthday, man. Every time you come on here, it's your birthday. I don't know how many birthdays you're allowed in a year, but we're only allowed one at a time. Oh, yeah. All right. I can understand that. Now, let me ask, if you don't mind, you don't have to answer, but have you already been to the Philippines and been with her? Or are you still doing the this? Lorelai and I did this like crazy. We did FaceTiming. Back in the day, it was called Viber. Viber. And I took her to work with me because of her, insecurities, jealousy. So I took her to work with me. She would sleep while I was working on the computer at the office, wake up every once in a while. But I showed her still the LDR thing. But one thing I did, and here's a tip. Here, come slow with me. I got to go this way. A tip is this. What I did, Tim, how's the weather in your part of the world, by the way? I didn't get to ask you about your weather. A tip I have is I had full disclosure. I took her everywhere. I showed her my office, my classroom, my house, Walmart, you know. She did the same. When she ran around the Philippines, she dragged me around with her, so to speak. A lot of videos, a lot of live streams or face-to-face stuff over the whole entire relationship. And I think that was a big help. I really do. Because it eliminated a lot of the concerns. By dragging her everywhere I went, not everywhere, but a lot of places, I think it helped her relieve fears. And any real concerns about anything. She knew that I wasn't running around on her. Weather's good, air quality is bad. Oh, well, all right. That is bad. Fawn says hello again. All right, told her why you spent 24 years in prison. Now, and is she still happy with that? I'm doing my best to look at the chat, but I am a tiny bit busy while we do this. Oh. See, you almost got me distracted. First time you've ever seen my channel? All right. If you say so. So BJ, what I'll tell you about that is I'm a big believer in full disclosure. And my wife and I, when we were dating long distance, full disclosure on everything. I told her up front and she agreed. And she told me up front, I said, look, if this is going to have a snowball as hell a chance in the world to work, then don't hide anything that I'm going to find out later. Yes, time to feed Lily. The funny thing, Tim, is she knows that when I do this, my dog knows what I'm doing, which is kind of strange. She wants to go to the bedroom. Oops. And she wants to sleep on the bed while I do this. But since our bedroom got flooded and the master got flooded, and we have everything ripped apart, the bed she can't get on because the dog ramp's been removed for space. And so she went in there a couple seconds ago trying to get on the bed, but she can't get on the bed. So, but yes, I'm gonna give her some food. You ready? Woo, 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 woo. I know it's good turkey. All right. Right, let me come this way. I agree. Don't build it on a lie on either side. Oh, you want to see my dog? I'll show you the dog a little bit later. No, I agree. All right, so don't build a relationship on a lie. I think that's great. I agree. I'll tell you, the funny thing is, she had family members once, because she was quiet about it, you know, about having an American or whatever with her family. Thank y'all for the thumbs up, by the way. But when it got serious, I mean, when I came there and did the K1 and blah, 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 when a couple of her family members realized that she was leaving to come to America, they tried to send me messages about her horrible past. You know, they tried to convince me out of jealousy that my wife was a bad person and I should dump her, blah, blah, blah. What they didn't, they tried to tell me her secrets. And there's a couple things they did wrong. One, they misjudged me because, you know, I don't go on what people say, secondhand shit. I don't care. If you don't like my wife, that's not my problem. I don't care who you like or don't like. You know what I mean? I'm one of those type of people. So, and two, I already knew everything that they were trying to rat her out on, you know, trying to embarrass her about. But I already knew it. We already talked about it. I had no problems with it. And for me, and the other thing they misunderstood about me was those things that they thought was such of a deal breaker, a nightmare. Oh my God, once that American's going to find out that his Filipina did this, oh my God, he's going to dump her and send her to the garbage. I don't give a shit. So, whoa, that's good. Jamie's in the house. Good to see you, Jamie. Thank you for being here. I'm working on dishes, and I'm going to try to do some steam cleaning, Jamie. Yeah, Jamie, if you want to throw them in timeout, you're okay to do that. I don't know if you know how to do that, but if you want to do it, Alphon, quit doing a whole bunch of crap because I can't read the chat from the others. If you keep doing all of that, somebody's going to put you in timeout, all right? So don't do it anymore. If you want to make a comment, make a comment. All right, you're out of here. Thank you, Jamie, or whoever did that. So remember, everybody, we're doing Jamie's baby shower, virtual baby shower. The first time ever on the internet. We're having a virtual baby shower for Jamie, for Miss Avocado, on April the 3rd at 7 o'clock, right here at my house. Right here at my house. So you guys remember that? I did. That's fine. It's fine, Jamie. I trust you. So, maybe, where's my, I don't know where my stool always gets. I have a kitchen stool, but I don't know where it gets to. I'm gonna find my, let's go this way. Let's go. I think this is blocking my camera. I think this is messing up the camera. I'm going to come over. Don't mind the house. Like I said, we're a disaster due to the flood. All right. Finally, my dog Lily went out to go poo. It's been cold and raining here. And she hasn't been wanting to go outside all day long. Tim says, hello. Hi, Tim. Wow. Yeah, what we had was a hose bib bust during the winter and we didn't know about it. So it flooded the master. You guys have all seen the short videos. I'm doing some more of those. I got more of those coming. So, let me catch my breath and then I'll start working on stuff again. I'm glad they got it fixed, Jamie. So, PJ, if you need advice or help or just a sounding board about your relationship, reach out to me. I'm happy to listen. I give unbiased, happy, been there, done that. So I'm happy to share. Tim spent the Tuesday morning in Manila. That's right, you had some medical appointments. Everything was good. Good to hear. Nice, yes. Oh, yeah. Looking forward to the virtual baby shower. It's going to be the first one ever on the internet. We're breaking, I don't know, norms, whatever you want to call it. So, here's a really good flavor of this drink. I know you probably can't read it. It's watermelon guava. This live stream is brought to you by V8 Strawberry Guava Energy Drink. Steady energy and supports focus. Well, I don't know about, well, it kind of does. It's really cold and it kind of wakes me up. So, I like the product though. It's only 50 calories a can. The whole can's 50 calories. Oh man, I'm excited about nothing. I know I've been so busy this week. I've had a lot of people message me. So James, Tony, John, everybody, sorry I haven't gotten to everybody's messages this week. But I've been exhausted due to all the work, I haven't done a lot of work except for clean the flood. But I've had contractors and I've been on the phone with insurance people and plumbing people. And, I just get wore out pretty easily and stressed out. Charlie won't be home, so we'll have to deal with Bruce being up late. All right. You're welcome on the me too. V8 juice used to be made in Canada for export only. Really? I got some regular V8, real V8 juice because I like it. Let me see. I'm a big, gigantic fan of regular V8 juice. But I only really like it in these small little cans. It's like, for me, one serving. It's 30 calories per can. John Sanders, did he just say he doesn't like jewelry or juice? I don't know. I like juice and jewelry. My wife loves jewelry. I must have missed something, but that's okay. Doesn't like the juice. I'm going to try to, read where this is from. I'm half blind these days, even with they still have those. Those are kind of sugary. So I'm not a big fan of the tropical flavored V8 stuff because they're more like, a sugary, juicy drink. These are only 11 grams of sugar, 50 calories a can. I have one of these of a different flavor every morning. I buy these at Sam's in bulk. So we have one of these every morning. It's just refreshing. And then I have one of these quite a bit. I probably, during the summer, I drink a lot of these. I take these fishing. I don't mind them cold or hot. You're welcome, John. John, good to see you. Thank you for the thumbs up and being here. I hope you join us on April the 3rd. Jamie, it's our job to remind everybody about April the 3rd. You know how my brain is. So yeah, we've been really busy this week with the flood. And amongst the flood, I had to do my home health thing, where the health insurance company sends you out, a nurse who comes and asks you 5 million questions, which are the same 5 million questions you answered last year, the year before, the year before, the year before. So I don't know why they just, I don't know, I don't get that. Yeah, Tim, I don't see anything about Canada or anything or wherever on this can, but then again, the fine print is so small, I would need a magnifying glass to read it. Tim likes the spicy V8. All right, I like the regular V8, not the salt-free either. Yes, Ken's out has been ever amazing and reminding people on his channel. Great, that's great. That is good. Ken's doing a good job with that. Lily? How was your poo, Lily? Did you have a good job outside in the poo? As I was saying, it's been kind of rainy. The dog has been hesitant and windy here, really windy. So my dog Lily's like, I ain't going out there. You know, you guys are gonna be crazy. I'll just wait. Oh man. And this stuff is really good with liquor. Not that I advocate anybody drinking, but this is really good. Some of this are really, really good with liquor. You know, rum works pretty good. Vodka works good with these. I'm telling you, some of these are really good. Not that I would know. Jamie, you thinking for me? LV, you're an idiot. You know, what kind of chicks do you pull? I don't know what you mean by that. I'm going to show that so everybody knows in case you get out of line. You can ask a real question. I don't know what kind of question. Chicks, one, we don't have chickens here. We live kind of like in a city area, and we're not allowed to raise chickens here. So, and I've really never raised chickens. I'm not a chicken guy. Vikings in the house. Energy, well, this, I know. My doctor recommends I do not use real energy drinks like Monster and all of those. This says that it's V8 energy, but in comparison, it's really not an energy drink like Monster. So, you know, this is safe for a bad heart. Because I checked that. I did. I checked it. Kenny D Investments. I do live in the Americas right now. Jamie saying hello to Viking. Kitty, how are you? Thank you for the thumbs up. Good to see you. We do currently live in the U.S. We also have property in the Philippines. Yeah, I like this one the best. I mean, this, when I'm hungry, I like this. When I'm thirsty, I like this. Because these are like water, flavored water with no carbonation. It says it supports focus. Combines servings of vegetables and fruits, excellent source of B vitamins. And that's about it. No added sugars, no artificial colors, gluten-free, no GMOs. So I like it. You know, this live stream could be brought to you by this if this corporation would be willing to sponsor this spot of the live stream. Harold's good to see you. Viking, why are the energy drinks so bad for you, for active people? Vikings and back in the house, because of some stuff that is not good for you and your heart. It is. Monster screws up your digestive system. That's what will end you over time. Yeah, when I'll tell you guys, I can tell you about energy drinks. When I was still teaching, and you guys all know I did industrial hygiene, environmental science, OSHA compliance, and we had to highly recommend. There was companies that we knew that was giving out, and then this is nationwide, but there was companies giving out energy drinks, and they had issues with employees having heart palpitations, and so the federal government, OSHA, we didn't have any law, but we could tell people, hey, we're telling you, providing energy drinks is not the smart, the research is starting to show providing energy drinks to your employees for free is not smart. And we even got to the point where we kind of recommended it, they took them out of the vending machines. And a lot of companies did. Energy drinks can cause a heart arrhythmia. That's right, messes up the heartbeat. It's too much of a stimulant. So back when we were doing that, that was one of the things we were seeing back in the 90s about what companies were doing. A lot of companies were giving them out for free. You know, they had a big old tub full of them, and workers would come and get what they want. But they had a lot of problems. They had problems with it. And we recommended not even Gatorade. I love Gatorade though. But we didn't recommend Gatorade. We recommended water. The only thing, the best advice we could give, best practice, would be give your employees water. And then that limits your liability to your employees. My sister drank 3 or 4 a day for some months until she felt her heart was jumping through her chest. Yeah, it does. I mean, energy, yeah, they got a history in America too. So I'm totally with you, you know. I should have, well, one legally, and as I'm sure you know. Thank you for the thumbs up, everybody, for stealing energy drinks from companies. One, we couldn't make them do anything. It was just a gentle recommendation from our committee to them. So, and it wasn't sanctioned by the government until much later. Now the government actually comes out and says, not the best thing to do. But back in our day, it was best practice would tell you don't do that. And so a lot of companies stopped doing it. But yeah, I actually never, if you want to know the truth, I've never had a Red Bull or a Monster. I've never had energy drinks in my life. One, I just never, I thought they were expensive. You know how expensive those stupid energy drinks are? I mean, come on. You know, I mean, back when I was managing a truck stop before I went to college, you know, I ate No-Doz like candy. You know, you guys remember what No-Doz pills are? We used to eat those like candies because I had to work all the time. Yeah, I know the theory behind the logo looking like it's Satan or the mark of Satan. Was it 666? So yeah, I'm familiar with that. I don't know, and I really don't know because none of us know. But there's a lot of people that design things that can be seen as something else. There's actually a scientific name for that. When we all look at a cloud and see a cloud, we look at a cloud and we recognize a dog. So it's really not a dog, it's a cloud. So recognizing patterns where there are no patterns, there's actually a condition, a scientific term for that. Pattern recognition. What I'll say about that a little bit further is how many patterns can you make in the world? You see what I mean? So eventually everything's going to kind of look like everything. Some things are like intentional, you know, like the FedEx logo having the arrow in it. Some things are unintentional, and we look at it and go, oh my God, here's what we see in it. Is that what it's called? Okay, I knew there was a scientific term. I can't always remember things because I have squishy brain. I have what they call squishy brain syndrome, so sometimes I get squishy brain. So some things are intentional, some things are not. Also, it depends on what part of the world you're from. You know, the old story about the Nike swoosh, you know, was problematic in Arab countries, right? Supposedly the caricature looked like a dirty word. You know, you just don't know. You don't know. But it is an interesting thing how even listening to records backwards, remember when we were kids and people would play the music backwards and they would think the devil was speaking to them on the heavy metal albums. You know, come on now. You know, that's just crazy people fishing. And we have a lot of that. And, you know, that's okay, I guess. If you want to do that, I don't have a problem with you doing it. It just... I am somebody that thoroughly enjoys a good conspiracy theory. I don't buy into a lot of them, but I do think they're enjoyable to hear about. I like hearing what people think about things. Because sometimes you go, oh, that's an interesting concept. And we've talked about that a lot here on this channel. Over the years about aliens and ancient societies, modern day societies, like the Owl Group or whoever, I can't remember. Is that what they're called? The Owl Group? that supposedly runs the government, out in California, the Owl Society or whatever it is. I can't remember what they're called. But they worship the owl, the all wise, supposedly, Guys, remember April the 3rd, we're doing a big baby shower live on this channel. It'll be on StreamYard. We're going to be taking guesses about how much Jamie's baby's going to weigh in a few weeks. So we're going to be doing that on April the 3rd at 7. So you guys join us for that. I got to turn my camera back on. The Bohemian Club, that's what it's called. They're the ones that worship the owl or has the big statue of the owl, right? The Bohemian Club. And then you have things like Skulls and Bones and the Freemasons. And look, I don't think any of those organizations runs the country or the world. I don't. I believe there's a very small group of people that are so unbelievably wealthy, they're not on the wealth charts. We don't really know them. I think they're the ones who drive the bus. I think they allow the diversion to look at the Bohemian Club and all these other groups. The Catholics think they run the world. I think there's a group of people outside of all the religions that manipulate the world, the people, the finances, everything, wars, everything. So there may be somebody that's associated. I don't think they lower themselves. I think there's a very small group that's way above the Bohemian Club and all these other groups. They may have underlings that go to the Bohemian group, and other things, but they don't do it themselves. I really believe that. It's kind of like the John Wick effect. You guys remember who John Wick is? Our favorite hero that will kill anybody who kicks his dog. Go, baby, go. And drives a really cool car. So remember, it's almost kind of like that, the higher powers. And I believe there is a collective that does that. I mean, if they didn't want us, the government, to do something, they wouldn't let us do it. If they didn't want Japan doing something, Japan wouldn't do it. If they didn't want Microsoft to do something, Microsoft wouldn't do it. If they didn't want Apple doing something, then Apple wouldn't do it. If they didn't want the oil industry doing something, the oil industry would not do it. That's what I think. I don't know about you guys. But that's where my crazy brain. Let's go this way. Maybe I'll take my stool. So I can try to keep up with the chat. All right. You guys want any grapes? We bought some grapes the other day if you want any. The Rothschild family is the financial ruler of the world. Could be. I mean, we're just not on their levels, right? All right. So one thing I'm going to work on tonight while we talk is I got a video I'm going to be putting out later, but since our house is a mess and I'm a little bored, I'm going to try to clean up a little bit. The stock market's getting beat up. Nice. That's good. I'll look to see if anything's going to tank and buy it. I don't mind the stock market getting, I think it's by nature. I think the nature of the stock market is this. It's not. So I bought one of these steamers. I didn't check the stock market today. But also, I only invest in the stock market for long-term growth. I'm not worried about 6 months from now. I'm worried about 6 years, 10 years. And so all the investments I make are for a long-term gain. You guys want to see the steamer I bought? So I bought one of these little steamers. I've never used it before, so I kind of got to figure out how it works. But I thought between all of us we could figure out how this works. I know I could read the instructions, but who likes reading instructions? Yeah, it's like the tide of the ocean, ups and downs. It is. And I think it's that way by design. You know, I am somebody that doesn't think we need the Fed. I am one of those people that don't think we need the Fed at all. I think they're about worthless. But, all right. So my little steamer cleaner thingy comes with a bunch of brushes. I'll show you guys. So like this one's kind of soft. This one's for like greening, cleaning the barbecue grill. Here's kind of a soft one. I don't know which one I'm going to use yet. Comes with a jet nozzle. Somehow. Comes with things I don't know how to use. I think it sits like this. I think I had it upside down. Tim, how's gas in the Philippines? In America, we've heard that they've established a crisis in the Philippines. So we've heard that. A financial crisis in the Philippines due to the gas shortage. But I also heard today that you guys were getting shipments of oil is on the way. All right. So the Philippines apparently is going to be getting a oil delivery in no time. Oh, look, it has a little bit of a jet power nozzle. Kind of like a pressure washer. I don't know if I want to use that. All right. They're getting oil every Thursday? All right. Elevator has gone up, is asking, are you a Christian? Well, the real question is, are you? And so you're supposed to be able to remove all the gunk off of your stovetop. And what I'll tell you is last night I had to cook a new turkey for Lily, for her dog food, and I made a big giant mess. So I'm going to try this. Now look, I probably wouldn't have to go through all of this just to clean the stovetop, but where else are you going to get a thingamajiggy like this where you can do cool things? Shit. It takes batteries. What? All right, I'm gonna have to. Two AAA batteries. Yes, it's a gas stove. Thank you for being here, elevator. It is a gas stove. So yes, I think, let me give you guys something to look at while I go get the batteries. I gotta go get some batteries. I'll let you look at yourselves on the TV. Well, this is not good. I don't think I have enough of the battery I need in my battery box. I keep all of my batteries in a box. Crap. I need one more of these. I gotta see if I can find somewhere to steal one of these from in my house. Well, that's not good. I need one more of these. Does anybody have a thought where I could find one of these in my house? One of our TV remotes is solar. The other one takes the double A's. This is a triple A. I need a triple A battery. Well, Let me sit here and see if I can't think of where I may have put another battery. I don't know what, I keep all of my batteries out here. Ken, good to see you. How are you tonight? Jamie says you're doing a great job shouting out her baby shower, so thank you for that. Yeah, the TV remote that has batteries has the AA's. The other one is solar powered, doesn't have batteries at all anyway. Good evening to you too. Hello, kid. Scotty's in the house. Scotty, good to see you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shit. Where's one of my drugs? Anybody keep batteries in their drugs? So many of our gadgets now come where you just plug them into a USB and they have built-in batteries. Scotty, again saying hello, hello everybody. So, Scotty, thank you. Thank you all for watching the, what? Go lay down. No, I'm not petting you. You're too fat. Go lay down. Thank you all for watching my little series on our flood here at the house. Gosh dang it. Jamie is a good supporter. She's a good person too. She's a good person. Let me walk over here. You guys come with me. There shouldn't be. Where'd you go? You guys gotta follow. There shouldn't be any batteries in here. And we don't have a junk drawer. Hey, look at there. My pulse ox, or my oxygen sensor, has what I need right there. Don't tell Lorelei that I stole a battery from there. And check the pacemaker? Yes. Well, I wonder if I could directly, get a hard wire coming out, right? I found one. All right, let's go back this way for a second. Come back to this side of the kitchen for a couple of minutes. Kaylee's in the house. Everybody say hello to each other for me, please. Kaylee, how are you tonight? Good to see you. Scotty, what's going on in the Philippines for you? What, Lily? Go lay down. I fed you already. This isn't food. Here, smell it. Shit. Now I lost the battery cover. Crap. Well. Did one of you guys take the battery cover? What did I do with the battery cover? Never mind, I found it. Viking says, hello, Scotty. Hello, my dad actually had wires coming out of his chest. Wow, so he had an external one. You were right, Scotty, exactly where it was. You're a good man, Scotty. All right. Oh, we got enough battery power. I don't know. You guys think how to read the instructions? Don't tell me those batteries were dead. Now I got dead batteries. I don't know who's in charge of this house, but whoever's in charge of the batteries is fired. I'm just waiting on the chef to make some breakfast. Read the instructions. I know, but Tim, I hate reading the damn instructions. We shouldn't have to read it. We're men. We're men. Why do we got to read the instructions? It's just not right. All right. Let's try this again. It says to press and hold the yellow button for 1 to 2 seconds. Tell me when you see the lights. The Stream Demon is in that. That's me. Oh, that's me. My Views Your World. How are you? Good to see you. Shit. How are you, buddy? If you get fired, you can collect unemployment benefits. Yes, I can and I will. I will collect unemployment. You're doing good, nice. Worst things to happen to a man is they give the GPS. Yes, oh, I know. I agree. Why would they do that? Because, wouldn't they automatically know that we're just being nagged? I tell the one in Lorelei Square to shut the F up all the time. Tim's hello to you, my views. Hey, Tim. Carl's in the house. Well, Carl, go to the bathroom then. That's all I can tell you, man. If you're having problems with that, which a lot of people do, go to the bathroom, take care of yourself, all right? It's stressful, to be honest. Our house is in disarray. Obviously my batteries are no good, so I'm shit out of luck. I'm going to have to buy batteries tomorrow. Because I'm too poor to afford batteries, I guess. And whoever's in charge of the batteries didn't keep them up. So I'm firing whoever's in charge of the batteries. But, they're a little stressful. We had the flood. It wore me out all week. Yeah, damn it. Well, that poo-poo's my night. I was all excited. Maybe tomorrow you'll get to watch me steam clean. Well, I'm happy for you, Carl. We don't really care if you vomit or not. That's your own personal business. So your kitchen is, no, it's the master bathroom and bedroom. So this is the kitchen. The place got damaged was our master bathroom and bedroom. We had a water faucet bib, water hose bib, or faucet, whatever you want to call them. I call them a bib. Swell up over the winter, which we didn't know about. So when I used it for the first time, it leaked all through the walls, and I didn't know it until about, hour and a half, 2 hours later. Lorelei went into the area and went, holy crap, what's all this water? So, master bathroom. Alphonse is back in the house. Yeah, so I'm going to do a little video about my plumbing company. because I'm not happy with the plumber, not the plumber, but the plumbing company. They kind of try to scam me. So I'm making these little short videos about everything. One, it gives me something to do. Two, I've been too busy to do live streams. But yeah, what we've had to do is take out the cabinet, which looks just like this, except for on the bottom. Same type of countertops and sinks. They had to remove that, cut out sheetrock, take insulation out, dehumidify the room for 2 days, 2.5 days, to get the moisture level back down out of the wall, everything. So it's been crazy. So Lorelai and I have been homeless again, sleeping in the living room. So, her and I are roughing it. We're camping. We're camping in the living room. But, so yeah, been a busy week. Every day has been somebody coming to the house or me having to talk on the phone and to deal with crap and this and that. And, it's been a pain in the ass. All right, Scotty, we appreciate you. Tell the little woman we said hello to her. Thank you for being here. So and we're not going to be ready to go back into the master bedroom probably for another week because I was supposed to get word today, which I didn't, when the company that's going to come back, when the company's going to come in and rebuild, right? Put the new sheetrock, new cabinet, new paint, all of that stuff. But I haven't heard from them today. So I did submit the quote to the insurance company for the plumber I had to pay for. That's unbelievable. The plumbing thing, you guys seen, I talked about how they want $1,400 for that one piece in my shorts. They truly wanted $1,400 for that. $1,400 for one bib and 6 inches of blue tubing. They didn't get $1,400. They didn't like it, but they tried to hustle me. And they did hustle me. They got $700 and something, $785. They hustled the insurance company. And I kind of got into them a little bit and said, I'm not ripping the insurance company off just so you can make money. I need an itemized bill. I'm not paying $1,400 for something I can buy at Walmart or Lowe's or Home Depot for less than $100. So we had a little bit of round and round yesterday, but we did get that worked out. Still, I would have been, if it would have been me having to do this myself, I would have hired a different plumbing company, had the guy come in, and he was only here 35 minutes. So, and they charged the insurance company $535 for a water bib. The most expensive one I could find online was like $89, so it was crazy. But I'm going to try to wrap that plumbing thing up in a small little short video for everybody. Oh, man, kind of crazy. And I wouldn't, I signed off on the work being completed by the plumber, but not on the invoice. I refused. I said, you got to send me a new one. You got to correct all of this garbage, and send me a new one. I told the guy on the phone I needed an itemized list, and he got into a big rant. Well, sir, it's one pricing. We don't put in how much they make and their health insurance and the electricity and the overhead. And I said, I hope you don't think I'm stupid. I'm not asking that. I'm asking, I need it documented, how much tubing he used, the water faucet, the bib, and his labor. The insurance company, we're not ripping them off just because you can. So, I understand now. All right, well, let me calculate it. And I said, well, you do that. I'll wait online. I'll wait here for you. Then they sent me an updated invoice. And then I said, okay. Now, they sent me a link to pay it. I clicked on the link and it had the old amount, so I refused to pay it. So today they sent me a new link that had the corrected amount. And it's just crazy. So out of my own pocket, I had to dump a lot of money I had to spend $1,000 out of my own pocket. But I guess that's better than probably the $20,000 to $30,000 it's going to cost for the water damage. Because I can only imagine if The plumber's ripping the insurance company off for $1,400. What are the other companies doing? You know what I mean? I told one of them, I said, it's like, said, it sounds like this is health insurance. You know, you guys are gonna, I could pay $50 to go see my doctor in cash, or he can bill the insurance company for $300. Is that what's going on here? And the guy just kind of looked at me like, well, yeah, kind of. You know, so apparently they all bill the insurance company a much different price than what they would bill me. So it's just like health insurance, kind of crazy. My views, what have you been up to? What's been going on in your world, by the way? Has anybody got any of their own good, exciting news? I don't have any AAA batteries. That's my sad news. I got to go out. I'll go out and get some tomorrow. And maybe I'll put all these pieces back so I don't lose them. And I know a lot of people think, well, $1,000 isn't a lot of money in comparison, you know, to what that's going to cost, 20 or 25,000 bucks, but still a lot of money to me. I mean, we are fortunate, and we are very fortunate people, that Lorelai and I are financially frugal. So coughing up the $1,000 isn't going to put us in dire straits, but it sucks, you know. So we're fortunate in that we can cough it up. Planning a trip to America? When and where? Are you coming here to flirt with girls? Many times insurance is the reason for the high prices of medical, automotive, house. Yeah, I agree. Well, because they're willing to pay, right? So it's a racket. It's a vicious cycle and a racket. Might have to go to Dallas for my global entry interview. So Dallas is your international hub. Well, the good news is supposedly at the airports now, the lines are moving. People are getting in and out, and I guess after Trump signed the executive order last night, the Democrats approved, after he signed it, to fund TSA agents so they can go back to work. But with the ICE agents already being there, I guess it sped things up. They did get things done. That's what we've been seeing on the local news here, that all the airports are running much more efficient and better now, which makes a lot of Democrats very pissed off. Because the Democrats thought they were going to make us hate Donald Trump because we had to wait in line at the airports. The funny thing was the news people were all over the airports interviewing people, and everybody they interviewed randomly blamed it on the Democrats, period. So, yeah, they didn't pass it. Okay, they didn't. All right, I thought they passed it last night. No? All right, maybe they worked on it. I'm going to Ohio to visit Mom for her birthday and Mother's Day. All right, nice. See, that's cool. That's nice. Well, and one thing I don't know, and because I don't know because I'm not that smart. The Senate did, but the Senate did, but the House didn't. All right. But Trump signed the executive order anyway, right? So they should. But here's what I would do. ICE is fully funded for another 3 or 4 years. The money's already there for them. What I would do, and maybe they can't legally, I would just transfer all of the TSA employees to ICE, to Immigration Customs Enforcement, which is probably what they should be in anyway, right? Why don't he just collapse it together? And under one umbrella, you can have a subdivision. But now they're fully funded for the next 4 years because it's the same job. It's just at an airport versus out in the streets or at a checkpoint. It's the exact same job. Tim says maybe they did, but one report said that. I don't know for sure. I just know they were talking about in the news that it was passed right after Trump signed it. He did the executive order to make it happen. But if you look at this from a business standpoint, I would just take away TSA and make them under ICE. There you go, problem solved. You know? And then once all of this gets worked out, you can transfer the funding that was for them down the road into the division of ICE and pay for it. I don't know. Maybe they can't do that legally, but it makes sense to me. But what do I know? My views is going to go to Ohio. Do you got a timeline when you're coming? Thank you all for watching, by the way. There is a funny thing, because I don't mind talking about politics. I don't really care. There is a funny thing out there, and I'm sure you guys have seen it, where Donald Trump's talking about the pen that he uses to write with, to sign all the executive orders. Have you guys seen that? Where, I guess I don't know. They were referencing something that costs a lot of money, besides the pen. It was the Fed. He was referencing how many billions of dollars they've spent to build a new Fed building, our money, when he could do it for $25 million. And and I thought it was funny, he gave the example because he was just sitting there. Tim says, why didn't Trump do the executive order for the money when it started? It's a good, I think it's political. I think he decided to let the Democrats look like idiots. I know it's kind of shameful that the employees had to go through that, but I think the plan was, we're going to let the Democrats hang themselves. We're going to let the American public hate on the Democrats. I don't think it's a great thing that the Republicans did that, but I guess it worked. But I think that's what the political strategy was. But I like the fact that it was just kind of funny. Donald Trump said that when he came into office, the pens that he was using, did you guys see this? I think it was funny, and what shocked me. The pens that he was using to sign his name, like for executive orders or decrees, they were $1,000 each. Did you know that? And they were given away left and right. And I guess every president for years have been doing this. And he's like, okay, so I got a pen that cost me $1,000 that I'm giving away. I use it once or twice, and I give it away as a gift, $1,000. Or I can use this pen, which I can't name, Sharpie, that costs less than $1. I think it's less than $1. They said, we're giving these $1,000 pens away to little children that don't have a clue what they are, what they're worth, what they cost. I thought that was really funny. Tried to let the legislative process play out. Don't want to be called a king. There you go. Yeah, dictator. Yeah, maybe he didn't want to be called a dictator, right? Like, all right. You guys think I'm a dictator? Well, here you go. We'll let the nature take its course. But I'm sure there's some political side to that. But I thought that was really funny. I was like, look, I changed this. I called up Sharpie. He said, well, I called up the company. I can't name Sharpie. And said, hey, I like your pen, but, I can't be signing these billion, trillion dollar treaties with just a black and white pen that has an S on it for Sharpie, And the guy at Sharpie said, well, I can make you a pen. I can paint it black and put your name on it, black and gold, and make it however you like. So how many millions of dollars did they save by not throwing away a $1,000 pen, But I don't know if you guys are saying, I just think that's so funny. Then he was referencing the Fed, how the Fed is so far over budget, and we need to get rid of the Fed anyway. So it's not, why are we paying for the Fed? That doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, I just really like that. He's like, it's just common sense. Why would you do this? Why would you pay $1,000 for something you can pay $1 for? And it reminded me, and some of you guys are my age, that when they were talking about how a hammer cost, what was it, like $350 or $3,000, and a toilet seat, was $800. Remember all of that? So, but my views, your world. I'm glad you're getting ready to come home. So my view says, I didn't catch it, sorry. It's crazy that I heard the Coast Guard isn't getting paid either, along with FEMA. I don't know. I'll have to check into that. Now, one, I think FEMA need to be banded. I think we ought to get rid of FEMA. I really do. I think it's a horrible division. But Tim, that's what I mean. Why are we paying for the Fed when it's not a federal agency or government, right? And I don't like that. And Trump's making the point, you've spent billions of dollars remodeling it, but I could have done it for $25 million. Going to be here in May? It's a great time to come back to America. Weather's great. It won't be too hot yet. It'll be a nice time for you to come back. And May is Mother's Day, right? How long has it been since you've been back? My views. We, here's something I'll say about us, Lorelai and I. Sometimes you got to be careful what you wish for or what you say, right? And some of you guys have heard me say this. I told you guys, and I told my brother Johnny on the phone. I was talking to him. I said, Lorelai's birthday, her big 40th birthday party is over. And we have nothing else planned for the rest of the year. So, nothing. We've been so focused on baby shower for our friends, Lorelai's birthday, getting through the holidays. Her birthday's over in March. Boom. We have nothing to stress us, to bother us, for me to dump money on, to waste money on. And here we go. We got a flood in the house. Teach my happy ass to open my mouth. Enjoy some barbecue on Memorial Day. Outstanding. It's been 1 year. All right, so not too long. Not too long. But sometimes you got to be aware of opening your mouth, right? So, yeah, this is great. What am I going to do for the next few months? Because I have nothing to do. BJ says, I am back. I got done talking to the girlfriend. She loves me a long time. How's the girlfriend, BJ? Did you tell her we all said hi? My wife always likes to meet the girlfriends and wives of people like us. So, so something, you got to watch your mouth, right? I'm running my mouth going, what am I going to do for the next year? I have nothing planned. There's nothing going on. Boring. Thank God I'm not spending any money. Yay, me. Maybe we'll take a cruise for our anniversary. Yeah, easy peasy year. And here I am dealing with this nightmare. I haven't talked to her yet. All right. Well, never mind. Forget it. Well, if you ever need help with any of that, just let me know. We've all been through it, done it. Oh, good. So, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of like be careful what you wish for. I really wasn't wishing for anything. I was just bitching and complaining, and now I have something to do that's costing me a lot of money and time. And our house is so dirty and dusty now. Even though we try to contain that really well, it's our house. And I hate a dirty house, but my house, every time you guys come on the live stream in the kitchen, my house is dirty, so I can't really complain about that. This is your second girly friend. Did you have a first wife, or these just girlfriends? Oh, I wonder where Pat is. Thinking of girlfriends, I wonder where Pat is tonight. I did talk to Dennis on the phone the other day. Him and I had a good laugh. So James tried to call me yesterday, Robinson, but I was so busy I couldn't get to him. Anthony and Tony or Tony and John and everybody, I haven't got to your messages, but been a little busy. So which one do you like better, the first one or the second one? Do you got a, BJ, do you got a timeline when you're thinking about going to the Philippines? Because that's one of the horrible things about these LDRs. We got to go to the Philippines one way or the other. Whether we like it or not, whether we want to or not. We got to pack our happy bags and move to, or go to the Philippines. So, which is not a bad thing. We're supposed to go back in the spring of next year. I don't know if it's going to be spring or summer or fall yet. We got to go back next year to take care of business, but right now I just don't know when. I guess I won't run my mouth about that too much because who knows what that's going to happen. Going to cost me a lot of money for that trip too. I did have a wife. This is my second Filipina girlfriend. Okay. The first one died? Damn. Damn. Damn, BJ. Shitting holy fucking butt parts. Damn. Sorry about that, man. Wow. You know, it's kind of weird, but I got to be careful how to say this. But a lot of Filipina, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Tim says, the man who is granted 3 wishes. Wish 1, wish I was always right. Granted, what is wish 2? God, I don't know, man. I don't know. She was riding her tricycle and got hit by, I mean, we've known since being married, but I've known a lot even before because I've been around the community since I was 18. It seems like a really high number, and it may be just that it seems like this. Filipino women die prematurely. It really does, and I don't know why that is, but I look at I look around and go, now maybe it's not, maybe proportionally is the same as every other country, and maybe it's just because I'm married to one, but I look around sometimes and go, man, that girl died, that girl died, that girl died, holy crap and butt farts. You know, a bunch of them have died in America young. You know, we've known them dying in the Philippines, you know. So, but I do know a lot of them lived to be a very old women, so it's not that, but it is kind of. All right, so Tim says, wish 1, wish I was always right. Granted that wish 2 is, and wish 3 is, I have no wishes. Man, that's crazy. And we've been in scenarios where we've known people, well, they do die a lot prematurely in the Philippines, I would say, due to the medical conditions, or therefore a lack of. And I really, I don't want to say the medical in the Philippines is bad, but it's different. You got to pay up front, as you guys all know. Therefore, you don't usually go. So a simple infection can kill you. So I agree with you, Tim. I really do. And I think it's sad. But we've known a lot of males die early too. So it's, and I sit and go, man, that person, if they would have been in America, they'd still be alive today. So, Lorelei has a couple of cousins that I promise you that if they would have lived in America, they'd still be alive. Simple little things, boom. Her aunt got sick and died in the Philippines. She would have lived here in America without any or Germany. She was from Germany. Proper diet, you think? I think proper diet is a factor, but I think it's environmental too. It's so easy to get an infection. It's so easy not to get proper medical because you're not ponying up the money. So that's part of what I think. I think a lot of it's environmental. You know, and I get it. When you don't have a lot of money, you got to do what you got to do just to get by, right? So I get that. And it's the same way here, look, I decided this year, because, last year they wanted me to spend, thousands of dollars. I was going to wind up spending $5,000 for my stop loss in medical this year, more than likely. And I decided not to do it. Even in America, I know my stop loss is $5,000, but they're saying I need to go do this test and I should do all of this, and by the time I pay my co-pays, and do the physical therapy, all of these shots, injections, these procedures, I would easily be out $5,000 this year. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to let nature run its course, so to speak. Which probably isn't a good thing to do, but it is what I'm going to do. And hopefully, it doesn't backfire. Let me move over here. Since I can't do any steam cleaning, I'll find a better chair to sit in. I guess I can take my apron off too. I was all ready. See, man, I was ready to rip and roar. Man, I was ready to kick ass tonight. All right, Tim, we appreciate that. Oh, man. Should have got something to drink before I sat down. So, BJ, if you're still there, can I ask, how did you meet the latest one? Did you like Facebook or a dating app or through somebody like me who said, hey, my wife knows somebody type of thing? What I was gonna say is, we know, this is a really interesting concept to me. That I've known couples that the spouse has passed away and they knew that they were going to pass away, like cancer, for an example, or heart disease, whatever. And I've known this since I was a kid with Filipinos or Filipinas. And it's really amazed me that how many times I've seen the Filipina say, look, to their husband, I'm not going to be here in the future, so we need to find you a replacement for me so that somebody can come and help take care of the kids and you. And I've seen that happen. I've seen where a couple has literally said, I want to introduce you to my cousin, my whatever, my sister, I don't know, whoever it is, but somebody they know and approve of. And then when the spouse passes away, well, they, wait a little bit, but then they go and bring the other one here as a wife. And I'm sure they got to have some chemistry and do all of that stuff, right? But I find that interesting because I don't think a Western woman would do that. I don't think a Western woman would put any forth effort into finding her husband another wife if she was going to pass away. Maybe, but I just don't think they would. Even if they had kids, I don't think they would. But it doesn't seem like the Filipino women hold a grudge because they're going to pass away, which is a good thing. And we shouldn't hold a grudge either. We should tell our wives, look, and I've told Lorelai, I said, you just do whatever you want to do. You're not going to offend me. Because the odds are she's going to outlive me by many thousands of years. So if you find somebody you want to remarry to, well then, so be it. It's okay. I don't have a problem with it. Because nobody should be alone unless they want to be alone. And, you know, little things can make you happy. And just because you've lost doesn't mean that you can't, you know, find again, so to speak. So I don't know. But I found that pretty interesting, how a lot of them will do that. Like, oh, well, you know, they plan for it in a sense. They work it out. They plan for it. And I think that's okay. I mean, for some of us, we find it a little, some people find it a little strange. I don't really find it, I don't know, strange. But I also have a different view on a lot of things. So I recognize that, you know, maybe I'm the oddball in the pack. You know, being the leader of the pack, maybe I'm the oddball. You guys, hold on. I got to get something to drink. This weather we've been dealing with is a little crazy. You know, yesterday it was 85 degrees here. Today it's 40. 85 degrees yesterday. Beautiful, sunny, warm day. Today, 40 degrees and rainy. Only in America. Only in America, my friends, can we find such viciousness. All right, let's see. I'm still doing a lot of research on mobility scooters. I still don't have that figured out, but boy, am I working on it like crazy. Let me tell you, I'm becoming an expert. Viking says, you have not been here in Norway. You are correct. Does the weather do the same thing for you in Norway? I mean, literally a 45 degrees change in 24 hours. Now, wintertime, I mean, well, I guess it's spring, I don't know. But man, it was so nice today. Beautiful out, nice little breeze, a good breeze. And today it was heavy winds with cold air and rain. But nope, never been to Norway. It is on the possibility cruise ship list, believe it or not. My wife would really like to go on a cruise ship that hits Norway. Right now, I'm just not a gigantic fan of flying across the pond to Europe, because I don't want anybody to know I'm an American and get killed. But, I don't know. I mean, we usually have a good 25 degrees change in the winter, like when the weather is really transforming, to go from like a mild day to a winter blizzard. We got worse weather here in America today. We had wind, but sunshine, 8 degrees Celsius. But evening rain. Yesterday we had 5. Ooh! That's a pretty big shift. That's a shift in temp for sure. I hadn't looked for tomorrow. Tomorrow's supposed to be back up in the 60s, is what I saw the other day. So we're getting closer and closer to spring here. Well, spring is here. But, we're getting closer to getting out of this weather crap, which is a good thing. Now all we've got to worry about is tornadoes. Like, oh my God, spring, tornado season, right around the corner. Well, we're in the middle, we're in the start of tornado season. So hopefully we don't get anything, but, we'll be, well, we can't prepare. Somebody was asking me the other day, which I thought was a good question, which is worse, or which would you prefer to go through? A tornado or a typhoon in the Philippines? You don't have much tornadoes there? We have tornadoes here. There's a big portion of the United States that has serious tornadoes. It's called Tornado Alley, and we just happen to be in part of that. The good thing is we're around rolling hills, so usually we don't get a lot of damage like flat Kansas or Oklahoma, because we are mountains-ish, small mountains, and so we don't get as many, but we definitely get them. Where we're at, we truly get no effect from hurricanes at all, maybe a little wind. We get no effects. Lightning, hail, tornadoes, and winter storms is what we deal with. We do have some flooding. We get flooding, flash flooding. I am back in the house now, Tim says. So yeah, it's weather's up and down, up and down, up and down. 85, 40, 85, 40. What's it going to be tomorrow? 85, 40, 40, 40, 85, 85, 40, 40, 50, 50, 55. We have no clue. We have no clue. But I'm ready for the warm weather. I'm going to do some outdoor activities instead of sitting in my house. I'm ready for that. But we're ready to do some outdoor stuff. Lorelai wants to go do something this weekend, but I don't know what we're doing this weekend. Tim says, Viking, that is way too cold, and that is no good. Viking, that is no way to live. No way to live. Yes, Tim, looking forward to June. Is June your weather, when your month where it really cleans up? We will get a lot of rain in April, and then May it starts to kind of clean up or settle down, but we still get those tornadoes any time of the year. That's what's crazy about it. You can even have tornadoes here during the winter months, which is crazy. But I'm looking forward because, I bought this steam cleaner thingy, this jet steam cleaner, so that I can clean my barbecue grill. So I'm looking forward to having some nice weather so that I can clean my barbecue grill and start grilling on it again. Hottest weather is in June to August. Okay, about the same here. 20 to 25. Yeah, we would say here June, July, August, September. So we can have some really hot weather in the early parts of September. So June, July, August, September is really for us. Once September ends, it starts to take a chill here. But we'll have some bad weather come through the world that's part of the country. We will. We'll have tornadoes in Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas, we will. Maybe Kentucky, Iowa, we'll definitely have some this spring. Because for us, we've had a really weird winter. We had one snowfall, and we only had like 3 days, 4 days of freezing temperatures, cold freezing temperatures. We had a lot of days that dumped down to 30, 32 degrees Fahrenheit, but we only had about 5 days where it was like in the 20s. So that was it. And that's apparently why my pipe busted. Very difficult to start over when you're older. It is, Tim, and Lorelai and I need to start over. One, because I want to. I don't want to live in this part of the country the rest of my life. I want to live where it's warmer and that when I do feel good, I can get out and do the hobby that I like, which is fishing. And we've talked about, and I told her, well, maybe we'll buy a rental property, and a cheap rental property where we want to move to, live in it for a couple of years while we look for the really good house. And I told Lorelai, I said, look, I don't know if I have that in me, to be honest. I think I have one more move in me, and that's it. I really do. My body has one more move in me, and I don't think I'll move ever again after that. I think I'm just getting to that physical state with my health that I need to find home, and that's it. We're stuck there for the rest of our lives. It's hard to start over. And a lot of people, I don't know, really don't start over, do they? They just kind of muddle through, I guess it depends on your definition of starting over. I was talking to somebody the other day about, like 55 plus communities for old people in America, 55 plus communities. And I'm like, I don't think I can live in one. I don't like people. I don't like rules. So they probably would be cheap-ish, but, I don't know if that would be the smart wise for us. And then, of course, you're always paying lot rent in most of these. Some places you buy the land that the mobile home sits on, but you still got to pay HOAs or whatever. So, and then you're, I don't know. The next move we make, and I'm working on it, we got to be really smart about, and or just suck it up and tough it out, because I can't do this again. I mean, I don't even know how. What I know is physically, I'm not going to be able to move us. That's why, for me, I'm saving up so that I can pay people to come and move us, because I can't do it anymore. Just can't. And I recognize that. I don't like it, but I recognize that's where I'm at in life. It's like I was telling the gentleman that's going to come and repair and put everything back. I was talking to him, and because, I know a lot about construction, so we're just shooting the shit, so to speak. And we're talking about different methods, different things, different whatever, just talking. And I told him, I said, now look, bottom line is, I don't care what you do, as long as it's all put back the way it's supposed to be. Your method, I don't care about anymore. I said, I've been there, done that. I don't care. I don't want to worry about it. I expect, if you're going to get this job, for you guys to come in, be efficient, effective, do it in the manner that you want to get it done. But I want it done all correctly, all right, and put back to make it look like the whole thing's brand new again. And he understood. And I said, and at my age, I'm not going to repair that. I'm not going to do that myself. I'm just not. I can't do it. But I'm happy to have you do it. And that is one of the perks, I guess, of old age, right? Even though we'd like to do a lot of things, sometimes we can't. And so we do figure out how to pay other people to do them for us, which is a nice thing, I think. I don't like, it's gonna cost, and I'll tell you, my budget for moving to Alabama from where we're at is gonna be about $10,000 for the move. So I gotta set that money aside. That's not including buying the house or renting a property or anything like that, rental shit. It's truly the packing, moving, shipping, all of that's gonna be probably 10 grand. But there's no way I can do it myself. And I hope we find the right house that I can just settle in and die in. And the other thing I think about, which maybe is wrong, is since we don't have any real family to give anything to, in some ways, I really don't care we're going to leave it legally to people, right? We are. We'll make it up and it'll go to somebody. After Lorelai's dead, after I'm dead, it'll be willed to somebody. But it's like living in a 55 plus community in a mobile home. People say, well, your trailer is worthless. Once you live in them, they're no good anymore. You can't get any money for it. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, I don't have kids. I'm going to have to find somebody to leave anything to. Does it really matter? If the trailer's worthless and somebody has to dispose of it, versus them getting a $250,000 or $300,000 house. Either I use my money and blow it on me, or they get my money when I die, right? So there's some ways that I like the concept of going, I'm going to use up all of my money for me, on me, and everybody else can just get the scraps when the scraps come. I know that's maybe selfish or silly, but that's kind of what I think about sometimes. Is who cares if I got a big fancy or a nice house to leave to somebody? We'll send some money to the people in the Philippines when we both die. We have that set up. But a lot of it will stay here. They don't need the money. I'm sure they'll like the money. But if I pay $100,000 for a trailer, and a nice trailer, because $100,000 to get you a nice trailer. And then I pay $300,000 for a house. I save $200,000 in my pocket that I can travel on, have a good time on, not stress on, not worry on. Right? So, and that's one of my big things always, is to be out of debt. So, and we've talked about that a lot. I don't know. But I don't think at this point we're going to permanently live in the Philippines. I think we're past that. We do have properties there. What we're going to do with them, we don't know. We are thinking about building a vacation house on one. But I don't know how much we would use that. Is one thing I think about is, if we had a vacation house in the Philippines, how much would we actually use it? I don't know. We would have to put forth a lot of effort to go over there for 3 months out of the year, to fly there, to go there, to stay there, then come back. We'd have to hire somebody to manage the property, to protect the property while we're gone. So I've told Lorelai, I said, we got to think about, because I just don't know how much we would truly use a vacation home in the Philippines versus going on cruises, going to Europe, going to visit Viking in Norway, going to Australia, hanging out, doing little vacations. I just don't know. And part of it is, what are we going to do in the Philippines? I'm married. I'm not dating girls. I'm not going to the bars. What am I going to do in the Philippines? I'm going to sit around and do nothing. We're going to visit family and friends, but after about, 2 weeks, that'll be all done. We'll run around the Philippines, paying for everybody else to go with us, But in about a month, all of that would be boring. So what are we going to do for the other 2 months or 3 months or 4 months out of the year? Because I've talked to a lot of people, and we've thought about doing 7 and 5. Living in the United States for 7 months, going there for 5 months. But I don't know why. And that's one thing I'm asking everybody these days is, why? Why would we want to go live there? what would we gain out of it? So, and I don't know, because, you know, a lot of people say, well, because, you know, the beaches, the food's cheap. Well, things are more expensive in the Philippines now than they've been in a long time. You know, I hear a lot of the girls who go to the Philippines and they come back to America, they go, oh my God, it's just freaking unbelievable how expensive, you know, the Philippines is, how horrible it is now. So they come back complaining about how horrible things are in the Philippines. You know, they love to see their families, but they come back going, I don't want to go back. Then in a few years, they get the bug and they go back. Then they come home and go, I don't want to go back. But from a husband standpoint or an expat standpoint, we've been to the Philippines, right? I mean, it is what it is. But I haven't been to Australia or Norway or Japan. You know, there's a lot of cruises I haven't been on. So to sacrifice 3 to 5 months out of my year and my money to get there, I don't know if that's good business or makes sense. Are we going to go back for sure? Absolutely, without question. But right now, I'm just not so convinced that it's the smart thing to do to live there 5 months out of the year. Just haven't. So we got to figure out what we're doing with all of that stuff. All right, Ken, take care. We'll see you. Thank you for being here, Ken. We appreciate you. So I don't know if anybody else has any thoughts on that or not, but yep, you got to go live in a little bit. Okay. But I've talked to some people about that, and I've asked them, what are you doing in the Philippines when you go for 5 months or 3 months? You know, what are you doing? Well, you know, just like I said, we have a lot of people over in the beginning. You know, we do a little traveling around the Philippines. We go to the mall a lot. We go and eat a lot. Now, granted, I do miss the food, and I wish I could just go to the Philippines to eat, you know, the fresh food, right? That would be cool. But we can do that in any other country besides America. America's the only freaking country that you can't get decent food. Every other country in the world, you get good food. America, nah, can't get it. So we don't need to go to the Philippines to eat healthy or good food. We can take a trip. But I've seriously asked people, and I know people that go there for 7 and 5, but what do you do for the 5 months? And then a lot of the guys honestly tell me, well, you know, we just kind of sit there and hang out, you know? And I'm like, wow, that's it? That's it? You just sit there and hang out? Like, yeah, you know, pretty much, you know. Sometimes we go to the beach, you know, which you can go to the beach here. Sometimes we go shopping. Well, we go shopping here. You know, I mean, if you're a single guy, maybe it's a different story. If you're a single dude and you wanted to live 7 and 5 or 5 and 7, well, I kind of get that. If you're over there wanting to party or to hang out with girls, that's something to do. If you're going over there for missionary work, all right, that gives you something to do. So that's one of those weird things for me that I've been asking men with their wives, and we know a lot of them here. You know, and a lot of them get tired of it, to be honest. I know it's kind of like the ones who are in their early 60s that are healthy, that retire. They go do that for a year or two, is what I've noticed with our people that I physically know. They get excited. They go over for 3 or 4 months, 5 months out of the year for 2 or 3 years, and then they quit going. They don't do it anymore because they've been there, done that. Instead, they take other trips. And I know guys here, and I've talked to them. They've come to the parties here, and I'm like, well, you going back? No, we're kind of burned out on that. We're going to go to Alaska. You know, we're going to Italy for 2, 3, 4 weeks, you know, and we're going to do that instead. We're going to go visit our grandkids in Phoenix, Arizona. We're going to do something else. And I asked him, well, why? Why don't you want to go back to the Philippines anymore for your 5, 6, 7 months? I'm like, there's just nothing to do. It doesn't make any sense. Pat's in the house. Good evening, Pat. How are you? We were talking about you earlier, Pat. Were your ears are burning? We're talking about dating and Filipinos and girlfriends. Because BJ was in the house talking about his girl. How was your doc? Did you get your doctor's results for your chest? And one thing I'll say is I think if you can afford to fly back and forth to the Philippines every year, stay there for 3 to 5 months, rent a place or own a place, and fly back, then you don't have a problem living in the United States financially. Pat saying, yep, he did the CT scan. Good. How did it turn out, Pat? I was telling them earlier that in the midst of our chaos with our flood, the insurance company's nurse made a home visit to make sure I guess I was still alive. And I find it irritating because every year they do this. They send somebody here and ask me the same questions. And I'm just like, I answer the same questions the same way. And I'm like, and I asked her this time, I said, do you guys not store the answers I gave you last year in the computer? Because you're typing them in. Are they not in my folder? Because nothing's changed. But, you know. It'll be this month, 29th. Okay, 29th of this month. I haven't had it done yet. All right. Soul Linder's in the house. Thank you for coming in, Soul Linder. How are you? Hey, you two remember about Jamie or Miss Avocados, Unbothered Avocados baby shower. Soul Linder, you might be interested in this. Next month on the 3rd, April the 3rd at 7 p.m., we're doing a StreamYard, a first ever live baby shower for one of our followers. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a contest to guess the future baby's weight. But it's going to be a one-off, and we're going to be doing a baby shower, so you guys are welcome. Remember to come and say hi, if nothing else. I think there's going to be some singing on it. I'm going to dance naked. No, I promise I won't. So Linder says, hello to everybody. Hey, Tim Aiken. Hello, Viking. Pat saying hello to Viking and everybody else in the house. So Linder, how are you doing? How's your weather? What's going on? How's your channel going? Are you still doing nightly live streams? Live stream LV Groot Good News. Okay, nice. Vikings is low, Pat. So yeah, we're going to do, and Viking, I hope he's there. We're going to do a baby shower for Jamie from Unbothered Avocado, Miss Avocado as I like to call her. So that'll be one off. I'll go get a little cake, a baby cake. I'm going to eat it for all of you guys. So Soul Linder, what's good news? You've got good news. What's your good news? Did you get a promotion at work? AJ's in the house. Patrick, hello to AJ. Hey, everybody give a round of applause to our friend Soul Linder, who finally passed his driver's test yesterday. Congratulations to you, my friend. Hot diggity dog. You passed your driver's test. Nice going, my friend. That's excellent. I don't remember. Do you have your own car yet, or do you got to go buy your own car? So everybody in the Dakotas better start watching out. There's a brand new driver in the Dakotas. But congratulations. Congratulations. It's really nice when you finally achieve one of those goals and you can move forward, you know? So, wow. What'd your girlfriend say? What'd your dad say? Come on. And I guess you got the answer to the questions that you missed wrong. You got them wrong last time. I guess you got those right. Otherwise, you wouldn't be passing the test. That's good news. We're just still dealing with the flood cleanup and all of that mess. is what I've been doing. So thank you all for watching those shorts. You know, I've been so busy, I haven't done any live streams this week, or very little. So been busy and tired, exhausted. So I've been trying to do little shorts. What? All right, I need all of you guys to explain something to Soulinder. Soulinder says, girlfriend, I haven't told her. I passed my test yesterday, and I haven't told my girlfriend. I did tell my dad, and he's proud of me, of course. Of course he is. But you haven't told your girlfriend, and it's been over a day since you passed your test. Ouch. Send me a message. I'll have to check it when I get off of here. Tim says, Soulinder, you passed your driver's license exam. Yes. I don't care, Soulinder. You should have texted her and said, guess what? Immediately. Girlfriends, if she's your girlfriend, she needs to be 1-2 in the know. I'm just telling you. We're giving you some very good relationship advice. All right? You should have been on the phone texting and said, hey, I know you're busy at work, but I just want you to know I passed my exam. Permit half? Yes, that's good. It's a good start. All right, that's better, man. I was starting to think, woo, how did we raise you? You wouldn't tell the girl, oh, man. I was starting to go, oh, my goodness gracious, great balls of fire. What kind of young man are you not to tell the girlfriend? That girlfriend will, woohoo, smack you silly. You'll hurt her feelings, you know. And when you get married, you better tell the wife whatever it is. Just, you know, we got to train you for the future. All of these guys in here know exactly what I'm talking about. We got to train you. But congratulations on getting the permit. How long do you have to take? How long do you have to wait before you can take your road test? And you better be practicing your road test. And I mean in a real car, not on a game console, all right? Practicing driving on a game console doesn't count as real experience, all right? Tim says, congratulations to you. Congratulations on both, passing the exam and telling the girlfriend. Man, we're going to get you squared away, young man, let me tell you. You know, you got to tell them women folk. You know, I don't care if it's important enough. You know, one thing I had to learn the hard way. I tell Lorelei because me being a single guy for all my life, you know, never married, I just went and did whatever I want. It's like today, she was sleeping. I went and got her some lunch. I woke her up briefly and said, hey, I'm going to run out of the house and get some lunch. Because if she would have woke up while I was gone, she would have been... All right, don't have to wait too long, but Dad told me don't have to worry about it for a while. Good. Well, hopefully the weather will clear up nice and you'll get some driving time in. I mean, to be honest, the best thing you can do is practice, practice, practice. I've taught a lot of people how to drive, and I'm going to give you some advice. The methodology that I use to help people drive. And I don't know how much you've driven in a car yet or a truck, but go practice in a parking lot. Practice parking in the parking spaces. Do that. Practice your parking in a parking lot. That will help you understand the shape and size of the vehicle more than you know. It really will. I'm sure you understand, and if you don't, what I teach young people, when I teach them, or people, not even young people, adults, when you get in the car, I want you to hit that gas as hard as you can so you see what happens when you hit the gas. And then I want you to slam on the brakes as hard as you can because I want you to see what happens when you slam on the brakes. And once you kind of get those things out of your system, you'll be able to control and understand what the vehicle can and cannot do. Same thing with driving it in a circle, going left, driving it in a complete circle, going right. You need to know what happens in strange, harsh, or abnormal driving conditions. If you know what the vehicle does and how it reacts, then you're going to be able to drive normally much more confidently. Because now all of that unknown is gone. You know what's going to happen if you do this. You know what's going to happen if you do this. You know what's going to happen if you slam on the brakes. You already know all of this. So, but congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. So when are you getting married, Soul Lender? I'll throw that one out there. But that's good news. Good news, buddy. How are things going on the YouTube channel? You doing okay there? I haven't done a whole lot this week because I've been so busy with everything. I don't know about this weekend. We're going to be busy, but I'll try to squeeze something. I got to go get some batteries for a project I was going to work on and show you guys tonight, but I don't have the batteries. I have to get batteries tomorrow. And then we're still waiting on the repair company to come and fix our house again. You've still been working on notes, okay? Well, oops. I can help you out a tiny bit. One thing I would do is talk about, if you haven't already done it, you can talk about taking your exam on one of your live streams. Talk about driving and driver's ed maybe, tickets, what happens. It's always a great topic to talk about driving in cars. Well, there you go. You're still looking for things to talk about. Pull it out of the news. Pull it out of your everyday happening. So I know you have a job. Talk about people your age working. I wouldn't talk about your company that you work for, but you could just talk about, hey, is it good for people our age to have jobs? What should we be doing? How many hours a week should we be working? Do you have good bosses or bad bosses? Is there a lot of cute girls at my job? Is there mainly teenagers there? Is there a lot of old people I got to work with? Who do you work with? Do you work with a lot of old people? You ask your audience. All of that stuff. The wife is in the house. Everybody said hello to Lorelei, the wife. It says, hello, my love. That's me, by the way. So you guys all say hello to Lorelei, if you will. She's visiting. She's at work, slaving away. Soul Lender, Pat, everybody. Tim, say hello, please. Viking. So those are topics you can address, right? You guys like cars. Talk about cars. Talk about motorcycles. Soul Lender saying hello to Lorelei. Very good. Very nice. I was going to do the steamer, to clean the stove tonight. I was going to show them how you use that steam machine I bought, Lorelei. But you got to have batteries, and we don't have the right batteries. So tomorrow, while we're out and about, I got to get a pack of batteries. Pat says, hello to Lorelei. Lorelei says, hello, how are you guys doing? Hope you're doing well. You can talk about, anything, dating, relationships at your age with people. Doesn't matter. Talk about food. Food is always a great topic on live streams. Trust me on this one. People love to talk about food. Well, we needed the AAA, the little skinny batteries, and all I had was one, but I think it's ran down. I found some other thing that had batteries, but those are too low. So we'll just get some fresh batteries, AAAs, the small batteries. And I didn't want to scrounge through the whole house trying to steal batteries. Lorelei, the wife, Soul Lender passed his driving exam, his written exam as we call it. So give Soul Lender a congratulations. He passed his written driver's test. Soul Lender, my wife is asking if you are engaged. I don't think he's engaged. He's got a girlfriend. You can't be engaged if you have a girlfriend, right? You either have a girlfriend or you have a fiance. And he says he has a girlfriend. Good job. That's very cool. So one more young person on the road. Talk about how much it costs to drive a car these days, the insurance. How are you going to pay for your insurance when you get a car? What kind of car would you buy? Oh, lame, I'm engaged to myself. My wife says, I thought his good news was that you got engaged, not that you passed your driver's test. Well, you never know. Yeah, never know. Maybe he could do both. Now that he has his, once he gets his real license, he's only halfway there, then him and the girly friend will be able to go out and about the town and have a good time. But so, Linda, there's a lot of things you guys can talk about. A lot of things. Talk about girls. Talk about being a good guy, bad guy. Talk about bullies. Bullying is a big topic. And you don't use names, or great detail about any one incident, but you guys could talk about what is it like in your generation to have bullies around. Internet bullies, cyber bullies, things like that. So Leonard says, well, if I get engaged, you'll send the wife and you are invited. Outstanding, outstanding. And the other thing you can talk about is how handsome I am. So Linda, you're going to have a live stream dedicated to telling people how handsome I am. You could do a whole 500 or 600 hours on that topic alone. Then the police stamps hard on my paper when I passed the test. Yes, when Lorelai passed the test, the state trooper stamped her thing hard and told her to get out. Said, I'm done with you, woman. Get out of here. Get out of here. So if you're looking for topics, I just gave you about 20 topics. And you can rotate topics. A lot of people think live streaming, you got to have a brand new, you just recycle them. In a month, you talk about cars again. Or pizza. Where's the best pizza? You talk about that, and then a month later, you talk about it again. The biased guy who wants my SSS and mad that I passed the computer test. Yes. She had a police officer guy that didn't seem to appreciate her. Can you imagine not appreciating her? But she kind of had one that didn't appreciate her too much. I did hear about Tiger Woods. I did. They arrested him even though he blew zeros. So he wasn't under the influence of alcohol. They're claiming that he was under the influence of something, but he refused, which is smart from a legal standpoint, not to volunteer a blood test or anything like that. So, because if they can't prove he was under the influence, they can't prove he's under the influence. But I did. So from a legal standpoint, it's interesting, but I guess they had enough probable cause. It's going to be interesting. It may come out where Tiger Woods says, look, I had a head injury from the accident. They assumed I was under the influence and threw me in jail for 8 hours. So I'm going to sue him. I passed the driver's test, the computer test, because I was scared that no one will send me back to work since David was going to a different state for a conference, and I'll be left without driving. So yes, they charged him with driving under the influence of something. In Florida, he had a car accident, a rollover, I guess, in Jupiter, Florida. So drove off the road. And so they arrested him for being under the influence, but they haven't been able to prove that he's under the influence yet. When they did the breathalyzer, he blew all zeros. Did I hear about Dash Crofts? No, who is that? That name doesn't ring a bell with me. You heard about Chuck Norris passing away a few days ago? But I haven't heard too much today about anything. But the Tiger thing's made the news. But it's a long ways from being over. You know, he has lawyers. He's been through this before. He knows to shut his mouth and not say anything. Pat says, right on, be right back to you. Summer Breeze. The song Summer Breeze? Wait, okay. You're going to have to give me more information, Soul. Dash Crofts, Summer Breeze. Is that the song? Summer Breeze. It's a great song, if that's what you're talking about. When is the best time to go to Chicago? On June. I don't know what the best. You can go whenever before she leaves, I guess. If you really want to go, Lorelei. I don't know. It's up to you. Maybe you need to reach out to her and ask. I don't really know. Because I think it sucks no matter what time of the year it is. It's either cold, windy, or then turns hot and smelly. Yes, Tim, Tiger Woods crashed his car again. He did. In Florida this time, not California. Ah, he was in the band Stills and Croft. Okay, I got you there. I know that one. And the Champs. Okay. Dash Crofts, right. Part of the band. That's right. Seeley and Croft. Okay. I want to go to New York too with you. I don't want to go to New York. Why would I go to New York? I don't want to go to Chicago. I'm poor. New York smells. I don't want to go there. I have no desire to go to New York. What do? Pass away from old age? My wife wants to go to New York. Is there anybody that wants to go with her? I don't want to go. I have no desire to go to New York or Chicago. All right, have fun. Oh, he died in surgery? Wow. Did anybody ever hear what the final results of Chuck Norris was? How he died? I mean, not right. I'm all right. You're right. All right. I don't know what you mean. Tim says, hello to you, Mrs. Pack. Good to see you. Lorelei, so Lorelei trying to say you're right? I don't know. Yes, Mrs. Pack is in the house, Tim. But I haven't heard anything more about Chuck Norris's issue. Still unknown. Yeah, he must have had a complication from a heart attack or something. So, I did see a funny video today, not about Chuck Norris, about Joe Biden, and have you seen the new videos about the humanoid-like robot that walks and talks? That's on the internet. Somebody took video of this new AI robot, humanoid robot, and they compared it to the way Joe Biden walks. And it's identical. I don't know if they manipulated the data, but it's really kind of funny. I mean, Joe Biden's walking in, like the robot is walking. The robot's walking like Joe Biden. That's kind of funny today. I did see that. I thought that was quite hilarious. That, and what they're saying is Joe Biden's really a robot because he's dead. He's been dead a long time ago. And so it's an AI technology that's why his speech is all screwed up. He never knows what he's saying because the AI technology is not quite there. And why he walks like a 90-year-old man, because he is because he's an android. Because, the rumors is he's been dead a long time, but he's an android. His replacement was an android. But we'll all miss Chuck Norris. I might watch his movie Lone Wolf McClane tonight. It's my favorite Chuck Norris movie. I was going to say Charles Bronson, but Chuck Norris. Maybe I'll watch it. I know it's on like Hulu or somebody. So, but So we got to find somebody to take my wife to New York. I don't want to go. I have no desire to go. She may go to Chicago to visit her sister before her sister goes back to the Philippines. I told her that's what she wants to do. All right. She'll probably be disappointed, but she can go. She can do it. I just don't feel like traveling just for the sake of traveling, especially where it's crowded and cold and yucky. You know, I only have a desire to see beautiful places. And New York City is not a beautiful place. Chicago's not a beautiful place, you know, if you're not into cities. So, well, the wife's going to go to Chicago and visit for a few days. I'm not going to Chicago. I was born in Illinois, lived outside of Chicago. I have no desire to go back. Big cities don't interest me. I don't like big city environment that much. They don't interest me. But this way, the wife can say she went to Chicago. You know, she went to another state to give me another state on her belt. She wants to go to New York. She can, you know, if any of her girlfriends want to go, well, I guess she can figure it out. But, you know, I would go to like Upper New York, the Catskills. I could do that, but I'm not going to New York City. Have the wife bring me home, a.k.a. Lamb, to your house. What are you going to do here? You're going to have to get a job, work 40 hours, finish school. Man, you'd have a harder life at my house than at your house. I'm telling you. I expect a lot out of young people here. Let me tell you, there is no free rides in this house. The only free ride in this house is me. I'm the only one that gets a free ride. But you would like Arkansas. It's warmer than your part of the state, or part of the country. But it's really expensive here too, so you wouldn't like that. I'll hack into your YouTube stream. All right. You can't even hack into your own. No. I need to be thinking of YouTube and streaming. I'm going to start live streaming. I need to start live streaming on my fishing channel through StreamYard so that I can get 50 people to follow that channel so that I can go on YouTube and do a live stream without StreamYard this summer. I need to remember to do that. I got to start live streaming on Streamer. Maybe I'll try to do that tomorrow. I need to get 50 subscribers to my fishing channel. Or you're going to stream on my channel. All right, you can do that. You know, can you be handsome like me? You know, I do have a high standards. Remember that. You got to be handsome like me, charming, debonair. You know, you got to be somebody that the women just flock over and go and swoon and say, oh, you know. If you can do all of that, you can wear my hat. All right, I got a lot of hats. I probably don't have any tropical shirts that would fit you. They're all way too big. But, you know, figure out something. Oh, my back is killing me. All right. Gonna wear my I got some just plain ordinary glasses that would make it look cool, because you may not be able to see through these. But I do got some glasses you could wear just to look cool. Some Ray-Bans or something. You can look cool. Like you're hanging out in the tropics, like you're hanging out with Jimmy Buffett. So. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's after 9 o'clock where I'm at. I want to thank you all for coming in and hanging out with me. I think it's time we start wrapping this live stream up, calling it quits for the night. I'm going to get some rest, take some drugs. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate that. We'll be live this weekend sometime, I hope, depending on how busy we get with what we're doing. But Tim, we appreciate you. Pat, we appreciate you. So Linda, we appreciate you. We even appreciate the wife for watching. Ken was in the house, Pat, everybody. Scotty was in the house. Got to thank everybody. Viking, we appreciate you very much for being here. So, all right, my friends, be good, be safe. We'll see you next time.